Here we're going to talk about this Fanfare Etude. So this is from the book 2, page 106. So when we come across an etude in music, basically what that means is it's a piece that focuses on specific piano technique. So in this case, while looking through the piece, we have some scales that are involved, so focusing on correct fingering of these scales with a variant in the rhythm. We also have bigger accented chords in the right hand, all of these half notes here. And then focusing on another technique here, as you can see with these little arrows. So that's focusing on dropping with your arm weight on these chords. Since they are loud and accented, we never really want to like attack those keys on the piano. It's more like using your upper body strength to help with playing those chords loud and strong without a harsh tone, right? So that's what's happening, and I'll definitely go over those later in the video. Okay, so first off, we're gonna start with the first technique. So keeping in mind a couple of things, excuse me, we have what we call cut time. So in the beginning, technically it's in 2 beats per measure, but for practice, think of it as 4/4 for now. So like we would count 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Just for now, and then later you can think of it in 2 once you get comfortable with the piece. And by the way, this is an A minor, and we know that because it starts off with the A minor scale. It has 0 sharps or flats in the key signature, and it also ends on A, so that's very telling that we're in A minor. Okay, so we're going to start with the scale, keeping in mind forte with an accent on the first beat. So it's going to go 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's also practice that scale in the bass, which is on measure 3. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. So getting used to that left hand fingering. And then we have an accent on the downbeat on measure 4. So let's try that again with just the left hand. Ready, and 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's pretty much it for scale parts. And moving over to chords. So these half note accented chords in particular on measure 4. So we're going to start with our A minor, and notice as we go through these measures, the bottom note remains the same, so that thumb on the A. Meanwhile, the top notes are just going in stepwise motion. So we have at measure 4 A minor, followed by, with the same fingering, an inversion, which is D minor, second inversion. Then we go to measure 6, a little bigger. Here's an A7 chord, followed by D minor, second inversion again, and then root position, A minor. So let's try kind of going back and forth with these a few times. And that'll happen a few times throughout the piece. Meanwhile, keeping our hand shape here at A minor, let's jump to measure 13. So here's an E major chord, first inversion. So notice that I'm reaching in for this. E major first inversion, measure 14, back to A minor, and we kind of go back and forth with these two chords. Okay, preferably just kind of keeping your hand like this as opposed to in and out would be best. So just kind of keep it a little further in. Okay, so now let's talk about the chords that have the little arrow symbol attached. So first off, let's talk about what these chords are again. So it's A minor, measure 20 in a different order than on the first page. We're going to reach for that A7, followed by D minor, second inversion, and then we're going to move up to first inversion, A minor chord, C, E, A, and then we drop down to A. So with the arrows, what that basically is telling us, and usually in sheet music they won't have these arrows in there, so this is just because we're learning through this method book, but it's kind of to be expected as part of piano technique. It's kind of like a down and up relaxed motion. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, drop. So I'm kind of having like a flexible wrist. I'm also using my upper arm to assist with these motions. So I'm not straight up like hitting hard, attacking these chords. I'm kind of allowing my arm to assist with the loudness of this chord. So drop, up, drop, up, drop, up, drop, 2, 3, up. So just a disclaimer, these drop up type of motions, they probably won't feel very natural for you in the beginning, and that's okay. So it's one of those techniques that over time you'll kind of get the hang of how that feels. So for now, since this is kind of a newer concept, definitely kind of experiment that feel, get used to the dropping of the arm. And you can even just do this on one chord. Drop, up, drop, up. And making sure that we're not doing like, the notes should be in sync together every time. So just try on A minor, just that one chord, until you get used to that feel. Okay, moving on to other parts of the piece. So where the left hand begins to get a bit more active versus page 1. So if we're looking at page 2, let's go over some of these notes here. So starting at measure 9, for example, we have a pretty long hold, 2 on the A. Okay, measure 13, so this is where we had that E major chord in the right hand. So this is going into E major territory with our 5-finger pattern, if we remember that, hopefully. So it's going to be 4, 3 on the sharps, 2, 5. When we get to measure 15, there's going to be a slight position move, and then reset back to how we were. Sorry. Bigger skip there, followed by reposition. Okay, let's go over that one more time. So I'm going to start at measure 13 actually. Switch. and trying these chords, so at measure 19, what's really nice is that they pretty much match what the right hand is doing. So let's go over those. So measure 19. Here's that A7, D minor. So here, instead of that first inversion that we did for right hand, you're just going to stay on A root position, octave lower. And to really get that big sound, instead of pinky, I'm just going to use like my third finger because that's pretty strong compared to the pinky at the end. With the dropping of the arm weight, you can also utilize that. Down, up, down. So they both will be matching on those drop with the arm weight technique. Okay, one last thing before I play the whole piece. I'm going to play it without pedals so that you can really hear it very clearly. And then one thing that maybe we haven't seen a lot of is this word subito. So this is on measure 8 of the piece. So prior to that chord, it's all forte with a lot of accenting. So now when we come across a subito piano, it means like a sudden drop of the dynamic. So it's going to be really loud here, and then really quiet here for a while. Okay? All right, here we go. All right, hopefully this tutorial is helpful for you. Paddling I didn't add just for clarity, but you can certainly try it with pedal. And it's pedaling harmonically, meaning when the chords change, that's when you should probably pedal. And then little areas of pedal in the B section on page 2.